Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live session with Brandon, and we are here at 9 p.m. IST. And what is the time there in Alabama?
Oh, I'm in Florida now, and it's like 11:30, 11:45, I think.
Oh, okay. So
Maybe
you
it's
don't have.
maybe right now. I don't have the time in front of me, so it's probably yeah, it's almost noon.
Okay. So you don't have any work right now.
No, 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 no. I'm pursuing acting, and so it doesn't make sense right now because I'm going to be meeting with agents next week, and so it doesn't make
Mm.
sense for me to start something if in a month I might be doing a job that's going to require me to drop everything and film
Uh,
something at some period of time. So starting a job now just doesn't make
oh,
sense. This is weird. Yeah.
so you're sure about the acting job?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I was able to get in to meet with agents that I'm doing
Mm.
next month, and then uh, what's good to have if you want to be an actor is to have like demo footage. And so I was able to go to a local university here to get that footage
Mm.
in a local uh, short film, and it was very bizarre to me because out of all of the films that it could have been,
Mm.
like half of the production crew, post production crew, they were from India of all places,
Mm.
but like that part of India that borders Nepal. And just a
Mm.
year ago, like to this date, I was in Nepal, and I was like,
Mm.
this is too funny how that ended up being like that, especially because I was doing with the mantra practice
Mm.
with sadhana. Was just had finished Kamalan
Mm.
month, which has to do with power and wealth, things like that. And
Mm.
as soon, the very last day of that is when I started getting all of these
Mm.
like things, like all these opportunities my way. And so I was like, wow, that's very crazy timing.
Yeah, yeah, and also congrats on your acting career. Like you acted in one skit, right? Like, what is the name?
It was called The CEO, and yeah, it was all very last minute. Like I was given my
Uh,
script and everything like a day before filming, and then we were shooting so late the night before that I didn't read my lines for the next day's script, and I was reading them like an hour beforehand. So
mm.
it was good though because it gave me that practice and experience of if I get
Mm.
something very last minute, I'll know how to be ready for it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that was really good. Like, that last hero, right? He'll be like during the bench press. So you're dead, right? Like in the first episode
Yeah,
only, you died.
yeah, I'm gone. Yeah, unless I get
So,
reincarnated, there's no coming back.
like Joey Tribbiani in his Days of Our Life. Yeah. Have you watched Friends?
I haven't, no, but when I visited LA back in December, and
Uh,
I went to like a movie set there, like Warner Brothers movie
mm,
set, and there was a lot of Friends stuff there, like the couch and like all the because they filmed in those studios, so I got to see all of that. It's cool.
mhm, mhm. Okay. And you told something about Matangi, right? Like how she is related to singing and parrots, and also you told that there is a singer called Mia, that is MIA Mia. And,
Yeah.
like it was surprising. That is, I heard her for the first time. I've never heard Mia's songs before, but when I heard that she has made a playlist called Matangi. I was like
Yeah.
shocked. Like Mahavidyas are so like rare to be in public platforms. However, she has made it like billion views for the
Yeah.
Mahavidyas, and that's like shocking to see. Like how where was she? Like 11 years ago, she posted that, and
I
we
know.
didn't even know that.
No, I didn't know any of this till like earlier this year that she's had done all of that, and she had an album, Matangi, and I was like, what? Um, she her father though was a Tamil freedom fighter. Like he was a leader. Like so
Mm,
she grew up in that, and then she escaped that and went to the UK, and she was like, if I could be anything, what do I want to be? And she was like, oh, I'll be a
mm,
superstar. And then she came to the US and got even bigger. But she like started the like social media celebrity, like how celebrities started getting famous on social media. She started that way back in like 2006. So yeah, she's incredible, and I'm happy she's still like up there speaking truth.
yeah. And uh, like when you see her vibes only, right? Like it feels like Matangi. Like Matangi herself reincarnated in a small singer form. It feels like that.
Yeah, she even there was another podcast she was on, and she was basically dressed in like full Doomavati like outfit, which was yeah, like she was dressed like that, and her story's kind of similar. Like she has complications, like she can't see her uh, due to like her husband, she can't like see her son as her, not her husband. She just has a kid with him, so she kind of has that like widower energy now
Mm,
because it's all her. She doesn't have like
mm.
yeah. Enough
Uh,
celebrity gossip for today.
yeah. Then, yeah. Do you want to talk about any past life?
Yeah, I mean, what I can talk about like with that is without getting into spoilers, like um that was a big part of October 1, which was exactly 6 months around this time. And that was 6 months before I was in Nepal and I was in the Kali temple, which is just
Mm,
very interesting that this is a full year till then that I visited Nepal. Um, but that was a big part of it was I uh, saw my past life, and it was very hard to comprehend because I saw like this big grand past life that I had. And for a while it was very hard for me to comprehend that because I'm like, am I going crazy here? Like I feel like um, any person who stumbles across like wanting to learn a past life, they would choose something big, but I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to push it away and be like trying to give it like benefit of the doubt. This is not me. Just because it was someone that like very well known that's throughout the public consciousness, and so that's why I'm like this person's so profound, so maybe it's something like that, like that person is their energy is strong. um
mm,
but no, like I had um predating that, I had like the day before that I like or the week before that I realized I had like visions and dreams of people from that past life showing up to me, and I was seeing them. And I say like the difference like when I describe a vision versus a dream is like it when you're there it doesn't feel like a dream, and I'm like it felt like I was being brought to see these people. And it was yeah, it was
mm,
a bizarre experience. But what I could say from learning my past life, and I've had people ask me how to learn your past life, and I know you have a video on it, and that's what I did, and I did that a week before learning this. And then I met someone from my past life, or at least someone who reminded me of someone from my past life. Like I don't have any way to clarify that, and that's what triggered the memory. And to be honest, even though I'm talking about, oh, this person was so profound, there was a lot of pain that gets carried over from those lives too, and it was even more traumatic than this life. Like by comparison, this life has been a breeze compared to the previous one. So it's hard now to have to deal with those same like karmic burdens and the sense of loss, and kind of now not having the same connections as I did before, and having to deal with all this on myself is a bit tough. Um, but it was definitely very insightful to have learned that.
mm. So, why do you think JFK reincarnated?
Um, yeah. So basically, the reason to continue on the mission of having this country, protecting this country, um, and trying to uh, for instance, like we have there's a pathway of um, awakening through these bija mantras, but I don't think
Mm,
that's something for everyone. And I think at the end of the day, like if we want to, we can create a country where we preserve um, what we have and we build people up karmically to get to the same point to the heart. Because at the end of the day, the three lower chakras, the people's desire to to eat food, we kind of supply that for everyone. People's desires to have relationships, there needs to be ways for people to outside of work,
mm,
socialize with one another. That's not through social media or anything like that, because that's not giving you the same connection you need. And then, the power chakra give people the opportunity to experience the wealth, experience the power that they want to experience in that lifetime, and make it in some way where it's merit based, where they have to work hard to get there. Make a future where there's more marathons people are running, more triathlons people are running are doing, um, because that all fulfills all these desires. And then at the end of the day, then the heart chakra, that is something that if you have faith in something, your heart
mm,
chakra can open wide open.
mm,
If you find that love of something greater than yourself.
mm,
And then at the end of the day, these upper chakras, truth, and intuition and all of that, uh,
mm,
truth is something that has to be guarded, because sometimes what's true can't be out there in the open for protection of people. Like for instance, if you're a president and you have top secret classified information, you can't reveal that to the public, uh, because it could potentially jeopardize and endanger people. So
mm.
something like truth is not to make that gateway, but something that there needs to be a lot of understanding and love first before you can understand truth. So that's kind of why that's what I saw. My purpose of coming down here is to do that, is to try to find a way where if we're headed towards a future where artificial intelligence is becoming prominent and it can take away our jobs and people don't enjoy their jobs, then we can find something else for them to do. And there's a lot of balancing that needs to be done,
Mm,
uh, with people, especially in the US. So, what are you going to do in your spare time? There's a lot you could be doing. So,
mm.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
gist.
Okay. Um, and also like now you are in Anahata month, right? Like you are in the
Mhm,
Krishna month. So
mhm.
uh, people were asking like, what is the? Can you introduce Brandon, like the new joiners? So Brandon has been initiated with the Kundalini mantras, that is from Mooladhara Chakra till Anahata Chakra, and he's in the that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th month, right? 7th month of Kundalini sadhana, that is Krishna mantra. And so how is the sadhana of Krishna going on?
It's good. It was daunting at first, but it's a good. Uh, I noticed a huge difference because I know when you go to heart chakra, that's something that continues on the astral plane, and so I saw I noticed like a huge change of like emotion, especially like a lot more. Even before there was a lot of crying, but now there was like and tears of happiness too and gratitude. So not all bad things, but that's definitely opened up. And then it was important Krishna month because in my past lives Jesus was very important, and so understanding it's the same thing,
Mm,
and understanding, yeah, there's really no difference. It's the same energy that people are feeling. Um, but yeah, that's been Krishna month, and I start Kali tomorrow, so I'm excited for that.
oh. And I feel like Krishna manifested himself in different places. That is the Vishnu, that is the causal being of our universe, right? Has manifested himself as Jesus in the Western countries, and in the Eastern side, like Krishna, Buddha, etc., etc. So like but the thing is, we have formed, the humans have formed different religions for the causal beings manifestation, but it is the same causal being who is manifesting himself. Even we are the incarnations of that same causal being, but The thing is, we don't consider ourselves as avatar. Like we think we are inferior, but we are not. That is, we can become like Krishna, Ram. We have to keep them as our guru. That is, we have to keep them as the ideal men who showed the selflessness of how much selfless we can be, and we have to aim to become that sattvic in nature. So that they don't teach us to like what to say, to treat ourselves as inferior. Like we have to never feel inferior. We have to know that we are the manifestation of Vishnu, them himself, and we have to become like Krishna, Ram, that is ideal man, by doing sadhana, helping people, etc. So that is what he taught. And also, Krishna made me watch that Anora movie.
Yeah.
Like, it won the Oscars, right? So the thing is, like, I was going to sleep one day. That is 10 p.m. I was going to sleep. I was very sleepy. Then suddenly, in my Hotstar account, Disney Hotstar, I got that Anora recommendation, like Oscar-winning movie Anura. So I started watching that. Then as I started watching that, right, like it became more and more addictive, and I started remembering my ex. Like I was like, I felt so guilty that I was not able to treat her well, because like in that movie, the hero, right, the hero. I mean, I don't mean that Russian mafia guy. I mean the uh, one who tries to like protect her, like empathize with her, right? So I felt that I lack empathy. That is, uh, like I tried to be empathetic towards my ex, but that was not enough. That is, I had to become more empathetic. So that's what Krishna taught me, that you need to be more empathetic in order to understand relationships and all. So that is why he made me watch that movie. Like even in that movie, right? That Igor guy is there. Wait, I'll bring my phone. That other phone.
Okay. Okay. It's a good movie. I didn't watch the full thing, but I was watching like somebody cover what it was about because I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. You recommended it, and so I had to see because I had heard that it won, and then there was all this controversy, and I was like, I don't know what this is
Uh,
about. Then no, it's a good film though.
yeah. So
Good
there is
lesson.
one guy, a guy called Igor or something, who is like the subordinate of the mafia, and he, even after getting scolded so many times, right, he still tries to like treat her respectfully, and that is what I learned from that movie. Like so much he was ill-treated, but he didn't do the same for her. Like for her, he treated her very well till the end, from the beginning till the end. So after that, like it impacted me a lot. Like it told me how empathetic I have to be in order to understand any girl's trauma. So what do you think about the movie?
I no, I agree exactly with what you said.
Mm,
And I've been in other media too, like kind of been seeing exactly what you're saying, being more sympathetic and empathetic when I thought I was at the time, even though now I realize that there was a lot of growth for me to do.
mm,
Which it's like it's a very good, very healing thing, but then it's hard because people here aren't very forgiving or open to giving second chances or realizing
mm,
that people change. And it's like that if you don't accept that people change, like
mm.
that's what being human is. That's the purpose for us being here is to
Yeah,
change. And we're always in motion. We're never still. We're never the same. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, like I watched somebody go and talk like an overview about it, and I was feeling the same thing where it felt like what had happened. Because yeah, like the girl that that reminded me from someone from my past life. Perhaps she is. Um, it seemed like there were a lot of parallels between um, what had happened and the whole thing of like her response to Igor even showing her kindness was fear. And I felt like that's kind of what can happen, like there can be a misinterpretation of one person's intentions and how someone else takes it.
mm,
Um,
mm,
I don't know. It's getting me sad thinking about it. Uh, so yeah, because yeah, it seemed like the Igor character was there. He felt bad for her and he wanted to help her and he saw the situation that she was in, but she was like still like traumatized from things that happened to her previously that unfortunately uh, she projected that onto him.
true. Like, she made fun of his accent. She called him a molester, and so many things she called Igor. But Igor didn't mind that. That is, he knew what he was like. He knew he was an empathetic guy, and he did his duty of uh, protecting her, and he never took it personally, like whatever she told, he never took it, because he was on the background, right? Like, he was understanding, okay, this girl has gone through some trauma, so that's why she is rude. But when I saw that time, I realized how much stupid I was. Like, I was taking every thing, the rude behavior of my ex as like, what to say, personally. That is, I used to think, okay, she's a rude girl, but then I realized, okay, I have to be empathetic in order to understand her trauma. So that is what I realized. And Krishna, like, he uh, does so many things. Like, if you observe, right, like, in the Krishna month, he will, or if you pray to Krishna regarding relationships, or because he's called as Yogishwara, that is the matchmaker. That is, if you are facing any relationship troubles, you can ask to Krishna. He will resolve everything. How much ever complicated the relationship may be, how much ever toxic it is, like, he knows how to handle it. And so whenever you pray to him, he'll make you watch certain videos, he'll make you watch certain movies, and he will show you what you truly are. That is, I didn't know that I was so, like, stupid. Then after watching the movie, I realized I was stupid. Yeah. So then, how do you think Krishna is helping you in this Anahata month?
Yeah, I think a lot in the same ways. Because yeah, trying to think of like good examples. There hasn't been too much going on for me like this month because I'm not
Mm,
doing too much. But yeah, a lot of it's been meditation, kind of going in within and trying to find like I think something you said last podcast was about loving someone even though there isn't a physical connection there, and I think it's kind of come full circle now, where I knew that at the time, but now I understand it even more. Where even in the case of my past life, oh, you already said it. So, for with JFK, um, for instance, like. Train of thought is just disappearing right now. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, some of the things is he put people's lives in danger in his life because of the information that he was telling them. So I realized that if you do love someone, even a physical distance, if it's what's best for them, that's still love. And so if you do truly love someone and you know that physical distance, like a physical relationship can't be a part of that, then it's fine. It's still love. You don't need to have a physical relationship in order to love someone.
hmm. Yeah. Like, one-sided love is also love only, right? Like, sometimes what happens is, even if we love a deity, right? For example, let's say someone loves Krishna, even though he's like the best matchmaker, he will never make good match for you. Like, he will always remove the people from your life, if there is any. But there is, like, deeper meaning to it. That is, whenever Krishna removes any person from your life, right? So there is a deeper meaning, that you have to introspect more deeply why the person was removed. it is because to save both of them from misery. That is, if you are there in that person's life and if that person is there in your life, both will be toxic to each other. Doesn't mean that one person is bad or good or something. It means that the compatibility is so poor that they will torture each other, and that's why Krishna removes the people from your life. And we think he does that for like a game, but it's not for fun. Like he does it with a purpose, and we have to know why he removed, why the universe removed the our favorite person from our life. There's deeper meaning, and we think Krishna is separate from the universe, right? But it's not that. Like uh, universe is same as Krishna. Whoever transcends the physical realm, right, they are equal to God. Like they are equal to the creators themselves, because whoever is able to achieve nirvikalpa samadhi, they are almost near Sadashiva. So when you're near Sadashiva, you can manipulate reality. You are equal to the Brahman itself. So that is why you can pray to whichever deity who exists in the causal realm. Yeah.
So with the causal realm, are the forms that we see, like the Hindu forms, are those just one physical representation, or are those the forms they take on the causal plane?
In the causal plane, the Saptarishis, right? They have when they manifested themselves in the physical world, they noted down the description of all how the deities look, and so that normal humans who don't do sadhana can learn from the Saptarishis and gain insights on how the deities look. And the thing is, deities are none other than ourselves. That is, when we evolve after like billions of trillions of years, we become the deity themselves. And so we should consider them as our future self. That is, they are us only, and we are like the descended form. So when it is in Brahman, it is singular. Like there is no separation. All are Brahman. Me, you, Krishna, Kali, everyone are same in Sadashiva. But when Sadashiva enters the Maya, no, that time it separates. Like Kali separates, Krishna separates, Brandon, Aditya, John, Jason, everything separate. So as it descends, so physical realm is the most descended place. So that's why the population is so high in the physical. And when it comes to the causal, there are for the population is very less. That is, there are few deities. There it is not like millions of deities. There are few deities and billions of humans in the physical and few million astral beings like that.
So the causal plane, that's less. Is it like there's one of each deity, or is it like multiple forms of, like, because obviously there's the way I understand it is there's one core deity, and then there's forms that branch off of that one. Or so
Hmm.
how is it look in the causal plane? Like, because that's how I'm thinking. Is it like there's a bunch of Kalis there, or is it just one Kali?
No, no. For one universe, there is only one Kali. That is the
Okay, I see.
Garbhodaksha Vishnu, right? When he
Mhm.
creates a universe, yeah, there are all the deities in it, along with so that consists of one universe. If you that is in the causal realm itself, there are many causal beings who create universes. So if you take another strand of universe, version of Kali, another version of Aditya, so there are many versions of ourselves in to other causal beings. So this is so whenever we are basically praying to the hive mind. That is the mind which we go during the sleep. That is, during sleep, we connect with that hive mind, we transfer our memories. Then, again, next day when we wake up, right? Again, we input memories, then transfer the memories. Then the same thing goes on. So, the whole point of being a part of the hive is to learn, learn how to be a Vishnu. Now the thing is, we are not like very evolved Vishnu. We are learning. So slowly, as we grow, as we increase our Shiva Shakti, like how you do in the Kundalini Sadhana program, right? Ganapati, Bhairavi, Bhatuk Bhairava, Kamakala. So like that only you increase Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti. Slowly you become a very powerful Vishnu after some few thousand years. Then after that you can create your own thing. That is, you have created already. That is, you are that Vishnu who has created a universe like that.
And so then reaching Nirvikalpa Samadhi, is that then jumping you up to that point, like where you're skipping levels, or is that getting you just to your next, like just getting you to the next level? You see what I'm
You're just you're just
like
going to
would
the
you
next level.
oh, you just going to the next level. Okay. And then my question with that is because I was still having the confusion understanding that, because when I looked like in China, I know there's records of people, uh, going in tunnels, closing themselves in there, and sitting there in a posture to leave their body and plan their next life. Um, so Nirvikalpa Samadhi, is that something where the it's something where you choose to do it, and then your body is, kind of still, you're sitting, that's your existence? Or does your character continue where you're still going on with your daily job and everything, and no one would know?
Huh. Yeah, the thing about characters, right? We think we are the characters. Like, I think I am Aditya, but that's not true.
Yeah.
Aditya is something else. That is, Aditya is permanent. Like he does not die. Every character on Earth or the whole Maya is permanent. It looks temporary because of time. That is, when like after 50 years, 100 years, we will die, right? So that time we think, okay, Aditya Brandon is temporary, but that is not true. If you see time as a static place, you can see all characters are coexisting. That is in the present itself. That is, even Ram is there right now also. Even Krishna is there right now also. All the beings, right? Jesus, whoever has died, are present. They they feel dead because of the illusion of time. That is, if we remove that illusion of time from our consciousness, we will see all characters are still alive, and we can travel in time however we want through meditation. And you talked about the Buddhist monks, right, who put
Yeah.
themselves in tunnel and achieve nirvikalpa samadhi. So uh, let's say a Buddhist monk called uh, Xiaoping. So he he achieves nirvikalpa samadhi. So Xiao achieves nirvikalpa in the tunnel. So what happens is his consciousness gets assigned to a character in the astral realm, and in the astral realm, that character was already there. That is, it was already permanent there. And what happens is the consciousness enters that astral character because the property matches. That is, property of Xiao, the evolved Xiao, matches the property of the astral character. That's why it goes to the astral character's body. Similarly, when the astral being evolves, he becomes a deity, and that also occurs with the matching. That is, if your character matches that of Kali, you become Kali herself, and if it matches Vishnu, you become Vishnu himself. So the characters are like permanent in the Maya. It's permanent. It's no character is temporary. The consciousness chooses the character based on the evolution. So if you're not evolved, you'll be there in the physical realm only. You'll be skipping characters from one character to the another character in the physical if you are not evolved. But if you are evolved, you'll go to the higher characters. So what it means is we have to never be attached with this body and mind. If we are attached, then will come back as the maybe the same character only.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's basically like, achieving a point where then uh your consciousness can drift from, like, I have this book, like it can drift from one life that's gonna focus, where it can drift from one life to the next, basically, right? So like you reach that point and then uh your character from your previous life is accessible, your character from a future life is accessible, and your consciousness is the one experiencing the characters.
Hmm.
That makes sense. Yeah, understand. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know this one's important to understand because obviously the last time there was a spiritual revolution in the United States in the late 60s, early 70s, there was so much controversy, and something like this would have controversy around it, but the people don't comprehend like what it actually entails. Um, uh, but I did want to mention, because David Lynch passed away back in January, and I didn't know much about him at all um, before then. But I was following James Gunn on X, and I saw that he passed away. And turns out he's basically doing, as far as from what I know and I could read from online, and a lot of celebrities have been a part of his foundation, the David Lynch Foundation, and he teaches transcendental meditation. But when you look into it, they say it's a bija mantra that they're being taught. They're just being
Hmm.
taught one bija mantra typically, but then there's tiers for people to get into it further and further.
Hmm.
But I did want to mention that because that's basically uh, with acting. I want to go that
Hmm.
same route. Acting, directing, doing what David Lynch did,
Hmm.
but unaware of. There's no competition in this, obviously. So I'm like unaware. Do I just help them along and teach transcendental meditation? Do I teach something new? Have a new program of my own? But there has been a lot of controversy with that in the past. So that's why I almost think having a new yoga organization kind of following in its footprints would be important. Um, but something Maharishi talked about at the time, which was also controversial, was yogic flying. And I was wondering if you know anything about that because he was telling people that they could do things like walk through walls. And does he mean like you can leave your body and then go through a wall? And that's what he was trying, that this is what was really being done? Or is that actually something possible? People walk through a wall? Or is
Hmm.
it something where the state of consciousness here on Earth isn't at the point where something like that could ever be possible?
Uh, See, once you figure out how the physical realm is composed of, like how Yukteswar Giri was able to manifest himself in front of Yogananda even after leaving the physical body, right? That is, the physical body will be buried of Yukteswar Giri. However, he will manifest himself again in front of Yogananda with the same physical body. So how was that possible? So he knew how the physical realm dream is composed of. That is the ingredients of the physical realm dream. So using that ingredients, he created another body of himself to manifest. So whoever understands the science of the dream, science of the universe, they will be able to create their own, what to say, their own body, mind, and they can phase also, like how Flash, Barry Allen, uh, he
Yeah.
phases through walls and all. Similarly, even the yogis can do it, but they have to
Yeah.
know that
Okay.
ingredients.
That makes sense. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I was watching a video on it yesterday, and it was like a podcast trying to like
Mm.
expose cults and stuff. But the guy who did transcendental meditation, he wasn't even saying anything wrong about it. Like he was just saying like, yeah, the yogic flying thing was kind of weird. But then he mentioned the fact that, yeah, and then one day I was sitting there trying the yogic flying, and I flew across the room and hit the wall. And then he said, but I knew that didn't actually happen because that can't happen in real life. But I'm like, what are you talking about? You just said, and it was so visceral and real that I flew and I hit the wall. That stuff can't happen. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? If you've experienced it, you're gaslighting yourself now. I mean,
Uh, I,
he's like,
uh,
it's all fake. It doesn't work. But I flew and I hit the wall. So I'm like, okay, so clearly there was something to go on with that. But yeah, it's cool. Like, he was an American Dad, the show Seth Green made. Or
uh,
sorry, not American Dad, Cleveland show. David Lynch was, and he also Miley Cyrus, she does Lakshmi Puja, and David Lynch
mm,
was actually the reason why Hannah Montana got created because he casted
mm,
Miley Cyrus and her father in a movie
mm,
together, and that's what started her career. So it's
mm,
interesting. I didn't know that Hollywood was very into yoga and into even Hindu practices. I'm seeing a lot of that now. The more I look into it, so that was a welcome surprise. I was of the mindset before that, like, oh, Hollywood's evil. They only care about themselves, but it's not the case at all. Like, it's very intriguing because was I feel very alone in the U.S. having these views and having no one to share them with.
mm,
Especially dealing with past life trauma and having no one to talk about that with around me because they would not they would not buy
mm.
that for a minute. Any of my friends here, it seems like that's kind of the place. That's where Hollywood is. Is kind of that's where the stars go when they achieve a certain point. Um, to me, at least, that's what it seems like, and I'll venture to find out.
Yeah, true. And also, right, like celibacy plays a lot of role in this. Like the more you store the sexual energy, the more creative you become. There is even Yogananda told that if you store that creative energy, right, from Swadhisthana, what will happen is your creative powers, that is reality manipulating powers, will become higher. That is, for example, if you can do that experiment with yourself. That is, if you uh, after sexual intercourse, like if you try to imagine, let's say you imagine a deity, you'll not be able to imagine a deity after sexual intercourse because your creative energy is very poor. Like your imagination powers, right, will become very poor after orgasm. But if you imagine before like storing it for like one month, 2 month of celibacy, the time your imagination powers will be at peak. So what it means is the causal being, right, whoever created this universe, he has stored his sexual energy for like millions and billions of years, and that is why he's able to create universe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard there's a rapper in the United States, Kevin Gates, and just not the
Mm,
type of person you would expect, but he had like a 5 year semen retention journey. He said he was doing it for creativity. He said wherever he would make an album, he would have like 3, 4 months where he would be celibate. And the people
mm,
interviewing him were like, "What are you talking about? Seriously?" And he's like, "Yeah." Is
mm.
it the same way for male and female, or is there a different energy exchange if it's a female?
It's the same, I feel. That is, both male and female have this Swadhisthana chakra, right? So, if any male or female orgasms through the Swadhisthana, the sexual energy won't be uh, enough to imagine things. The imagination powers will become poor for both men and female. And I think for men it is more because like men uh, get orgasm immediately, right? So what it means is their storing capacities, like, first of all, poor. So it'll the imagination powers will go zero within few minutes, whereas for the female it will take time, that is maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. So they can tell no to the orgasm anytime they want, but when it comes to men, we can't say no to the orgasm. Like, we orgasm, then we feel guilty. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, and I was gonna say this is why it's so important for people to be educated on this in the United States that there's a reason to abstain and be celibate because for the most part, anyone who does that in the United States now is for some religious reason, thinking that something bad will happen to them if they don't, and they do it out of fear, which then basically creates something in the mind where if you're not supposed to think about something, that's the only thing you'll think about. So then they put
Mm.
themselves in a trap where they'll do the same thing every week, then they'll go to church to have all that be forgiven, and it's not about you did something bad and you'd be forgiven. It's just there is a benefit to this, and you don't need to, you won't, you're not sinning for doing this. But there's a reason, there's like an actual reason for you to do it. And I think now though too, even if people just do it on their own without a spiritual practice, I don't know if there's the same benefit. I think when you have a spiritual practice, then you're actually going to get a benefit. I think people who try to, because you see it in like the Catholic churches and stuff with the priests and stuff, people who like force themselves to retain from some young age, you can have, that can lead to repression, and you don't want someone to be repressed because that can lead to even worse outcomes, like the Catholic priests and all that. If you repress yourself to that point, it'll come out in some disgusting way. So it's like about having a balance. But yeah, there's definitely a reason, but it's not that you're gonna burn in hell for doing it. That's not the case.
Yeah, yeah. It's just about being a better Vishnu. So Vishnu is a dreamer, right? So in order for a Vishnu to dream vividly, like manipulate the reality, he has to have that creative energy. If he doesn't have that creative energy fueled in him, automatically the dream becomes poorer. That is, it'll become blurry. It'll become less. You'll not be able to manipulate reality. Basically, there is. You'll not be able to do what you want to achieve, like your goals. So all those will become poorer day by day. So that's why, like, we have to know how to store that creative energy and put it to good use. And in tantra, right, they have told one way in Rudrayamala Tantra. They have told a way to channelize the sexual energy upwards while having sex. That is, while having sexual intercourse, you have to not aim at orgasm. Rather, you have to uh, aim at the Ajna Chakra orgasm. That is, like when you do Shambhavi Mahamudra, right? That like this, when you concentrate on the Ajna Chakra, what will happen is the sexual energy. So when you're having sex itself, that will start the energy, the Swadhisthana will become like a nuclear bomb, and it will start pumping it upwards, because we are not allowing it to orgasm. Like we are continuously having sex, but we are not allowing it to orgasm. So automatically Swadhisthana, what it'll do, it'll shoot it upwards. And when we focus here, right, uh, the third eye will open, and finally you will get to feel a new kind of orgasm, which is not sexual in nature. Like here, that pineal gland orgasm will feel, and that orgasm, you will get addicted to that orgasm. Like how humans got addicted to masturbation in the teenage, that is in maybe eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade. So we were like, wow, what is this masturbation? And like we got addicted to it, right? So uh, similarly, even the Ajna Chakra orgasm, when you have it for the first time, you'll get addicted to it. So you'll do it for like 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks. So it happened same with me also. That is, when I got the first orgasm, I was like abusing it for like 2, 3 weeks. Like I was purposefully channelizing it upwards and feeling this orgasm. The third eye was like so strong that during those times, but uh, now I stopped abusing it, because even that is like an addiction only. Like having that orgasm is also addiction. Yeah. So uh, have you reached that orgasmic point in?
Yeah, so what I can say is like back October 1st when I was talking about having the whole awakening, maybe it was a rebirth too, because I literally turned into a child for like weeks after. But I was feeling that like when I was on the video call talking with this girl, I felt the heart, and then
Mm.
there was a while I felt the throat, and then I felt it up here, and then there was a moment where I felt nothing because it was like, oh, like she
Mm.
ended things with me. Like I said the wrong thing. Oh no. And then I just felt everything shut off. And that was the weirdest thing. It was like everything was lit up, everything shut off. But
Mm.
then after that, I started going back in sadhana and I felt the full, like, especially the heart, I could feel that a lot. And it was overwhelming. And that was a point where I was retaining for like 1 to 2 weeks
Mm.
because that just all decided to all at this one point. But that was the thing I was going to mention is I was no fat for literally 20 years of my life, and I didn't notice any increased creativity. However, I guess my mind could have been working in ways that other people's minds didn't. I just wasn't realizing. Not like I was physically creating anything, but I was having like, writing scripts in my mind, things like that, that I'm now putting to paper now.
Mm.
But I didn't really notice I wasn't having any like, astral vision or anything like that for those 20 years. So that's why I think the spiritual path is also required to notice those benefits because those 20
Mm.
years, I mean, I was shy and nervous and anxious. So
Uh,
it wasn't doing anything for me.
oh, I think you didn't explore the powers of celibacy. Maybe next time we should explore. Like you can do it just by closing the eyes. That is, now you can imagine a vivid picture of Vishnu by closing the eyes. If your sexual energy is accumulated, and if it is not accumulated, you cannot imagine Vishnu himself. Like it'll be blurry if it is not stored.
I mean, that's a question that I have because I see it, but is third eye vision the same thing? Like when you're a kid reading a story and you're imagining the story in your head, is that your third eye? Is that imagination, or is the third eye vision where you're actually visibly seeing something, like not through these
It
eyes?
it happens like that. It's a gradual progress. That is, first stage is vivid imaginations, and uh, second stage is traveling in time. That is, you'll be able to travel to the past, travel to the future. So that is like intuitive powers, like cows and all, right? Cows have a little bit ajna chakra active, and that's why they can see future and all, but they will not be able to communicate. But they will warn the owners. Like for example, let's say some person is going to die in a house. The cows will uh, start moving too much during that week, and the owners will get to know, okay, someone is going to die, and
I got you. Yeah.
that's how they won. So what it means is the creative energy in a cow is very high, and that's why we treat them as mothers. And so that is the power of Ajna Chakra. That is, if you some like the powers get unlocked gradually. First is imagination, then it's time travel, then it's like reading minds, then Divya Drishti. That is, you'll be able to go to any place, like just by sitting in house you can go to US, Russia. Like you can, that is Divya Drishti. So slowly, one by one, the powers get unlocked because Ajna Chakra has a lot of powers. But Sahasrara is like on the next level. It is able to create
I got you.
universe. Yeah.
I got you. That makes sense because yeah, I was just figuring that a lot of people don't understand third eye, but if and everybody has read a book as a kid and imagined the story in their head, and I also just think because there's a lot of people in the U.S. that have really great imaginations, but nothing much to do with it. That's why I think it's just important that we bring sadhana to the United States so people can utilize their gifts. Um, Something obviously a very controversial person, but something Elon Musk said, and I'm I don't know how I feel about that guy, but something he said was that everybody is just 1% away from greatness, and he's very right about that. Like there really is just that one push, like that the energy going upward once, and then you realize that you already are perfect. Like you're already that thing, and
Mm.
it's sad to see in people who are like, because I don't know, like I'll see it in others. I'll see people who have insecurities and things like that. And I'm like, this is all in your head. You're the only one doing this to yourself. So that's why
Mm.
there's, strong mission to want to bring that here. But I think it's going to take a lot of time because as of right now, like I don't know how many people are on board to learn about this. There are plenty in the US. Like there are a lot of people with like new age religion and all of that, but there's no combined mission or goal that these people have tried to um put together, and I want to be the one to hopefully lead that and be like, hey, there's a lot of great people here, but we need someone to step forth as leader to try to pull people together to have a mission for the future, instead of just going back because the United States has a problem of two-party system going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we have no way to
Mm.
break out of that. So I think that's what I wanted to be able to do, offer a way so we can break out of that same two-way thinking. Like it's like it kind of like then reinforces dualistic thinking, having a two-party system where something's good or bad. And it's not like
Hmm.
that.
True. And also, have you observed that whenever you are there in relationship, that is, whenever you have a girlfriend, what will happen is the sexual energy gets channelized upwards automatically. That is,
Yeah,
the as
yeah.
you told, like
Because
Anahata Chakra is will become so high that the flow for example, when we are single, when we are alone at home, the food energy gets transferred to Swadhisthana because we don't have anything to do at home unless we play
yeah,
chess or do some like love animals. The Kundalini will be in the Swadhisthana itself, and that's why we feel lusty at home if we are single. But when we are in relationship, suddenly like it goes to the Anahata, and we don't feel like masturbating only. And uh, and again, if you are there in some like ashram or some meditative camp, then it goes beyond the anahata also, like it goes to the ajna chakra. So this is what I observed. Like it's very beautiful that the way uh, relationship works, like to channelize the kundalini upwards. Yeah.
I know, and I wish that's the thing too, is it does that. It's like almost people say like finding their other half, but at the same time you have to do that work for yourself is what I realized is because I saw, oh, this person completes me and I felt all of that, but then I was like at the same time I should be able to be like this 24/7 where everything's lit up, not dependent on another person. So that's what I took away from that was she brought me all this happiness, but otherwise if I can't find happiness on my own, the moment she leaves me, I'm back to where I was. So
Hmm.
that's like what I realized, and yeah, it was a lot of like meeting someone and trying to talk to them for kind of this was like the third or fourth time we were talking. Uh, it's challenging when you're having that experience, and I was unaware of what was happening, but I was literally feeling everything light up, and it just kept on feeling better and better, and
Hmm.
then yeah, so if she's watching this, I apologize, but I didn't know anything about that experience. It was wonderful though. Like I felt like I like learned so much and brought so much back with me from it. Um, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so that's why in religions, right, we are told to love a deity like Krishna, Jesus, Kali. So whenever we fall in love, the energy gets channelized to Anahata. So if you're not able to find a right human, male or female for relationship, then you can just love a deity or a dog or whatever, and the kundalini can be channelized upwards without the requirement of a human.
but it's not required to balance everything on your own. Like if you can still achieve like the next level with having that like love interest that lifts you up.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like you don't have to independently balance everything out on your own.
There's no harm in taking external help like animals or uh, like human. There's no harm in that. But as you told, yeah, independently is always ideal, but many people will not be able to do it in single-handedly. So because
Yeah.
humans are not meant for that. When humans, right, like since ages, like uh, since they came into existence, we were always with someone. That is the early men, early women. We were always in a group. We were never alone. So this loneliness, right, this is like the disease of the new era. That is when smartphones came into the picture, when houses started isolating, like when the joint families broke, when nuclear families got formed, and when both parents went to work, and when the kid is left alone at home. So this loneliness is like a new disease that got formed in the 21st century. And I feel like this can be cured by just socializing, that whatever lustful thoughts and all, right, this can be cured by socializing. That time we will get re what to say rewired to our old human self. That is maybe like 500 years ago, when when we used to socialize and channelize the energy to anahata, vishuddha, ajna. So we will remember the old memories, and it is possible. That rewiring is possible, no doubt. You just have to open your door and go outside. Yeah.
That's the other, when we talk about old ways, the way I understand Hinduism is it's obviously it's they that's kind of what was labeled with all the practices that were in India. That's what the West called Hinduism. So it's kind of a branch of a whole bunch of practices in India, but Hinduism also like includes everything else. Like you can worship Jesus and be Hindu. You can worship, right? So even these like ancient practices that have been lost, like in the United States with the Native Americans, there's a lot of ways that we can now go back and understand what was lost to the Native Americans now with the internet and now that we have the knowledge from India and from Hinduism, because a lot of it's very much the same. And so that's another thing, because they had it right. I think one thing that um, I remember, I think you actually made me think of it because you were wearing slides similar to this, these like big plastic rubber ones. And I realized that during a daily basis, somebody who, you know, that has a job in the US and all that, they never once, their feet are never touching the ground, where everything is rubber. The bottom of all of our shoes are rubber, the tires when we drive our car, everything's rubber. So people are aware that like if you're people will say like if thunder strikes, if you're in a vehicle, it's safe because the rubber will repel that electricity. But that being said, no point in time is somebody's foot actually touching the reverberations of the earth because we
Mm.
have rubber on our feet. And it's so weird because I noticed the difference of wearing these and versus walking, like grounding, and you do it for long enough, you start to feel really, really good. And I just wonder, like, how simple is that if we just switch people's shoes over to something that absorbs instead of, repels the ground? Um, because a lot of those ways that the Native Americans had, we do need to reintegrate because there are places of these places with bizarre energy levels that are on Native American reservations. And we, people don't really we don't understand that there's even like a CIA that's investigated these places, and we don't understand that. Do we like in India, you guys have all places of energy. There's temples constructed there, and so at some point, I don't know. Do we need to do the same here? Do we need temples built there? Like, what should happen to these places? But I think our loss, like our connection to technology, even though all this information is available now that we never had before, we've still completely repelled ourselves from how we used to be and having a connection with nature. Now people are more connected with their phones, not connected with nature, and think we've lost a
Mm.
lot because of that. And we've gained a lot more of depression
Mm.
and isolation when no animal in nature is isolated.
True, true. And like you mentioned a very good point of that rubber footwears. And in temples, right? we have to remove the footwear whenever we enter the temple, and during that time, for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, we will be on barefoot. I think that must be implemented in Western countries also. That is, whenever you enter church or mosque or anywhere, we have to not wear footwears. So if that is followed, I guess the grounding will take into place. Yeah.
Yeah, the mosques do it, and they have like rules about like cleaning feet, but no churches won't. But yeah, really, it's just like
Mm,
every day to be able to, or just footwear that absorbs. Because
mm.
I shouldn't be saying this. This might be a really good business idea.
Huh.
But like what the Native Americans used to do, like, you know, having different animal skins, not like we're gonna go revert back to that. But I even remember hearing, I was reading a yoga book and they were talking about like this special way of like certain type of animal fat and a certain type of like animal fur. And you could somebody could put that on their feet and they could walk for like kilometers and their feet would never be tired. So somehow these people figured out all of these weird, bizarre like tricks and stuff, and so much of it has been lost. So it's, they're they're cool
Yeah,
things. Though.
but I guess footwear itself is disease, I guess. Like always without footwear, after getting the Kali Vigraha, right? Like I stopped wearing this footwears, and I walk everywhere now without the chappals. And like maybe the last time I wore footwear was like 3 months ago. That is in the month of December when I came to India. After that, after buying the Kali Vigraha, I never wore footwear, and I feel really grounded now. Like after I came here, see, you can see the Kali. Now I'll show the Kali. The one who made me remove the footwear. So this is the
That's
small
awesome. No,
Kali.
it yeah, it's so good for grounding. I was doing that for some time. I was walking outside just whenever I need to, just feel
Mm,
that because obviously the mantras can make you feel ungrounded and
mm,
it really helps. So that's cool. The
mm.
3 months of doing that.
Yeah, this is the Kali, and this is the Krishna. You know, this is a very black Krishna. See, if I've showed it in some videos. Like, you can see only his eyes. The reason is because the murti, right? It is made of stone. Like it's a 800-year-old murti, and very powerful. It's like Rukmini herself worshipped this Krishna murti because she wanted to see Krishna in the teenage form. So this is the teenage Krishna. Yeah. So this is the Sri Yantra. And I keep sugarcane juice for Lalitama, and I suggest that only. Like in the last month, right, of your Kundalini sadhana, you can do sugarcane juice for Lalita Tripura Sundari. So this is the 18th deity that you are gonna be initiated, and this is Subramanya, the Ajna Chakra month, and yeah, this is Ganapati. That is first month. Yeah.
Those are so cool. Those are nice.
Here above, if you see, there is another Krishna. Mahalasa Narayana. This is Vishnu. He manifests himself as Mohini avatar. So he even though he's a male, right? He manifests himself as female, and he tries to distract the asuras. So the asuras will be trying to steal the nectar of immortality. So to distract them, this guy, right? Narayana, he comes in the form of like a very beautiful girl, and he will distract all the demons, and the nectar of immortality will go to the devatas. So this has deeper meaning. Like the story, right? It is not like uh, we have to not take it in literal sense. Like it has deeper meanings, and this is Manjunatheshwara. That is the Shiva Linga. So these are the things. And Hanuman is also there. Yeah. That. So I meditate here only. That is in my house. I keep a what is that? In US, I used to keep a blanket. Remember? Now I keep this one. This is like a wooden plank. Like this you get in India. Do you have wooden planks in US?
Not like that, no. I mean, they have like there are like circular pillows and stuff and like foam things that people will sit on,
Uh,
but not the wood. I haven't seen that.
yeah, wood is good for grounding. That is, it connects with the ground and it will remove any energies. It will not hold on to like any energies. Yeah. Then the Flash. Do you watch Flash?
Yeah, I watched the show like growing up. Um and then that's another interesting thing too. Ezra Miller, who played the Flash in like the previous DC universe, he also I mean, you can't find too much on it because they really did a good job to like protect him. But
Mm,
he had a guru of his own, and um, I don't know exactly what he
mm.
was learning, but um, maybe the Shakti energy was too powerful. Oh, yeah, I see that. Is it back now?
Give me 1 minute. I'll change the internet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what are these guys up to? The chat box. So, have you been reading the chats?
I haven't because I don't have. I'm only seeing the back of my phone right now. I can see like you and me on there, but I can't see the
Hmm.
comments. Oh, help during.
Someone is asking about the gateway tips. So, do you know about the gateway tips?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I saw like some YouTube videos on them, and it's the CIA project that they did back in the 60s and 70s, and what they were trying to do is come up with some way to. I mean, they were experimenting with a lot of stuff. They were experimenting with like, and this is all stuff you can see documented online. So they had second. Okay, my phone went dark enough. Battery was low. Um, so yeah, they were doing like stuff on remote viewing, which is like somebody sitting somewhere and then being able to see something or find a person, like a location, and be able to see it by sitting there, with their eyes closed. So they were tapping into some of these subjects in the CIA and trying to find some scientific way to like back it up. The gateway tape specifically um, is basically like a series of tapes that they would give an individual to try to make it so they could, gain cities or gain powers almost, but specifically like to have out of body experiences is what they were aiming for. And so I was able to find the on YouTube you can find some of the tapes. On Reddit I was able to find all of them and downloaded them all to my phone, and I started going through them. Um, and yeah, it works. It brings you to a different state of consciousness. There's like a music that plays in the background, and it's called hemisync. So it's trying to sync two parts of your brain together, basically. And there's
Hmm.
different practices you can do. Like there's ones that are like it's called color breathing, where you imagine different colors and different things about that, focusing in different parts of your body. Um, and yeah, I would imagine the whole thing works, but I stopped doing it. Like I was just on a kind of a busy regimen of like going to work, doing one gateway tape, then making food, then watching TV. Good. I just didn't really like that routine. I don't know. Then I just stopped doing it and haven't thought of doing it again. Not for any reason in particular.
Hmm.
Um, but like they found that like they say that the tapes worked, but a lot of these things that the CIA does, they have to release, and so it was released. Yeah, so I guess if you want, you could try to find it and do it, but not that it's dangerous or anything.
Mm,
The only thing is like they do write in there, like they have written in the documentation, like, hey, if you're gonna go out of body, make sure like someone is there with you. Like make sure you're like being watched or something, because you don't know like what will like if anything will try to mess with you while you're out of body or something. That's what they were saying in like these papers in there. So a lot of it could just be the introductory of the West trying to understand this, or it's something that's really secretive now and nobody touches. But yeah, that's the gateway tips.
yeah, even I watched like 2 years back when I was doing Bija Mantra Sadhana, right? I used to watch the gateway tapes also, and it was kind of boring. Like I felt boring. So what I did was I directly went on YouTube and searched for delta waves instead of searching the gateway tapes, which pump hemisync waves. What I did was
Yeah.
I directly searched for delta waves, theta waves, and one day I tried theta waves. That is while sleeping, right after sadhana, I that is 4 a.m. in the morning, 4 to 5. At 5 a.m. I ended the sadhana. Then I slept with theta waves on, no reaction, uh, no astral travel, nothing happened. But the next day, when I did the sadhana and put delta waves on speakers, like I used the speakers for delta waves, and so I started seeing my physical body from outside. That is, like I was on the ceiling. Like I was on the ceiling. I was seeing my physical body down
So cool.
sleeping. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah. So then after that, my Kundalini sadhana started maximalism. That is, I was able to more and more, shake the Kundalini. Like whenever I wake up right in the morning, my Kundalini would be like, "Wing, wing, wing, wing," because it got used to the delta wave so much that it started becoming like a snake only. And it was cool experience.
yeah, I know what you talk about. Or within my room, the
Mm,
experience of it and the way you feel after. I've had it's like
mm,
insane. Like you feel wonderful, um,
mm.
but I've never been able to look at my body. Like whenever I try to look around, it'll be like a blur. Like I just can't see it. Like my actual body is trying to protect myself from seeing my physical body or something. So I can never see it. Um,
Oh,
I've tried that though because you recommended doing the delta wave. Is delta or theta? Delta.
delta waves.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. I'm just bad at waking up on time in the morning. But when I did it recently. Like I woke up at the right time and just meditated for a bit, and it was just like an instant to that like the Shiva state of like nothingness. So just like you forget your breath and everything. So there's something special about that time. I just need to wake up at that time um,
Uh,
more often. It still has an effect. It's just more potent at those times, right?
yeah, because you have to finish the that is deep sleep. Like you have to enter the rapid eye movement sleep. It will not work in 10 p.m. sleep. Like whenever you sleep at night, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., it will not work. The delta waves won't work because you are very tired. And but after the tiredness goes away, right, at 4 a.m. when you wake up, all that deep sleep is done. So the next is REM sleep, that is rapid eye movement sleep. During that time, if you listen to the delta waves, it'll have more impact because you're not tired, and you have a lot of creative energy in the morning. And plus, the delta waves will make you pop out of the physical body, and you'll be able to see vividly, like the dreams and everything will be very vivid. And my sadhana experience maximized after the delta however, I stopped using it because like after like 1 week of delta waves, what happened was there was an astral entity, like a bear or a dog or something. It felt like an animal, I don't know what
Yeah.
is it like,
I'm
but it started like it was demonic in nature. It was not like real dog or real bear. It was more demonic, and it was black in color, and it used to come in my room. That is, whenever I woke up, right, like not completely woke up, just like when I'm in the transitional state from uh, wakefulness and deep sleep, like in the morning before our alarm, like will be there in that transitional state, right, of sleep and wakefulness. So during that transitional state, I used to see that demonic entity which used to sniff me, like it used to come near my ears, and it was like it used to sniff the ears, and I used to get, I was like, what the fuck is this? And I used to see like
yeah.
a big bear like entity which didn't speak. It used to make sounds, like in the Predator movie, right? It makes sounds. So such sounds it made, and I got scared. So then I stopped delta waves. Then I purely
Yeah.
concentrated on the bija mantras.
When I was younger, I had it wasn't a dog, but it was like a witch that would be like whispering in my ear. Every time I'd have an out of body experience, I would come back into my room and I'd have sleep paralysis, and she'd just be like whispering in my ear, and I'm like,
uh,
I can't, like, I couldn't wake up. I could always wake up from dreams, but I couldn't wake up from that. And now, yeah, I don't try for it because I like even have a book on astral projection, but there's really no point to doing it from what I understand. Like, because it's really about like you can just go inward. There's, especially for me, I can only go like around my room.
mm,
I haven't worked on getting far enough, but yeah, a lot of what you're saying, I watched somebody who does astral projection, and it's basically what you're saying. Like during that moment, it's either your fears being projected or you're actually seeing something that's there. And
mm.
since we're here on Earth, there's things that are demonic in nature running around, but they're powerless. They're harmless.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
watched that series, right? Like you sent some videos
Yeah,
regarding that where the
Legion.
uh, what is the name?
Legion. Legion.
Legion. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, they that show the character has the powers where you can go onto the astral plane. And this introduced me to a lot of this subject matter when I was watching it. Like I was so blown away watching it the first time, and then I saw it like two more times after that. But yeah, he's got the power. You can go onto the astral realm, and there was a creature that kind of like looks like a dog type thing. It's like this like time creature that like exists outside of time. So when it's interesting how they film the scenes because no one will be moving, and then all of a sudden the scene will change and everybody will move positions, and those time creatures are the only ones that can move um, because they exist outside of time. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre show. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
You
good. I
know.
recommend it.
Uh,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say. Actually, never mind. Spoilers. Spoilers. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
Like whatever you send to me, right? Like it may be music videos or the any episodes. Like initially, I feel weirded out. I'll be like, What is this?" Like, but then I'll be like, I'll start exploring it more. For example, the music that you sent, that is
Yeah.
Mia's music. So like
Yeah.
initially, I was like, it's a very weird music.
I
Then
know,
like
I know. I send those things to you, and I know like this is a weird thing to send, but like there's a reason, man. Like she has all of Vishnu's forms in this one music video.
Yeah, like I'll show to the audience the Mia's music. I'll not play
Careful
it.
for copyright.
Yeah, yeah. I'll not play. I'll just I'll keep it do not disturb. Uh, it's in Matangi playlist, right? Uh,
Yeah. That one song was only one you. No, no,
hmm.
no, it's not. No, it's Come Walk with Me.
Okay. Uh,
But yeah, she's
huh.
her name is
So-
Matangi in real life, and she's yeah, goddess music.
It's very weird music. So the guys, the name of the music is Come Walk with Me, right? Come Walk with Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's by
But yeah,
Mia.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
She looks so good for her age. That podcast I sent you, she's in her 50s. I
yeah,
thought she was like she was like old, like 37 maybe at oldest.
yeah. Like so
Blessings of
beautiful. Age 50.
yeah,
How can it happen? And I think Matangi has protected her like aura. Like
yeah,
she didn't allow her to age.
yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm thinking. Like she's very close, the closest thing we probably have right now to a Matangi on Earth.
Hmm.
Maybe in a
Wait,
sense because
I'll
we've
show
been one of
Matangi.
yeah.
Let us show to the audience Matangi. So this is Tripura Sundari, and the younger version of this Tripura Sundari, right? It is the this one Shodashi. So this is Shodashi. This is a 16-year-old girl. So I think the whoever prays to Shodashi, right? What will happen is they will Shodashi will ensure that they'll not get old and they'll look young even at the age of 50s and all. And even Matangi, see, she looks young. Yeah,
And then
she's
there's
green in
Kamakawa
color also.
College also. Yeah.
Yeah, Tara is like bulky, right? Ma with the Tara.
What's the difference between the two? Like I have trouble remembering what part of the throat, like what
Okay.
their functions.
So this is the Vishuddha's Shiva Tattva. Vishuddha Chakra's Shiva Tattva is Akshobhya Bhairav, and Vishuddha Chakra's the Shakti Tattva is these two. So the Mahavida Tara is the spouse of Akshobhya Bhairav. So this Akshobhya Bhairav is worshipped in Buddhism also, the Tibetan Buddhism. He is worshipped, and Mahavidya Tara, right? She's like the Neelata. She's also called Neelatare Saraswati. Saraswati is basically knowledge, and also uh, she represents communication. Whereas even Matangi, right? She has parrots. Like some versions of parrots will show Matangi in with parrot here, like here and here. So that means that she's also representing communication, like singing and all. Whereas this is pure knowledge. Yeah,
That makes sense.
Saraswati, Nilatara Saraswati. But some people say that Matangi is the tantric version of Saraswati. So it's like, yeah, I feel like they're both almost similar. Only. She's called Nilatara Saraswati. She's also called as Saraswati. So basically, Saraswati is different versions. Uh, yeah.
That was the first time that I recognized that the deities had like association with the body parts. I was watching MIA talk about that in a podcast, and it's so funny because she goes on podcasts that are like
Mm,
conservative podcasts because she can get on them, and the people
mm.
never have any idea what she's talking about when she starts talking about that stuff. But she was talking about how she was talking about how Matangi was associated with the throat, and I didn't know what that meant at the time. It was the first time I had heard it, and now all of it makes a lot more
Mm.
sense to me.
Yeah, and
Um,
you're in this month, right? Krishna month.
yeah,
So now you have to travel. So you have traveled all this like here you have traveled the basement. Now you're in the Ananta. Then you have to travel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
and there's four.
8.
I know there's four physical chambers in the heart, but then there's also energetic chambers in the heart that are non-physical, and there's four of them. Is that also correct?
Yeah, like there are different aspects of love basically. That is Dhumamata
Yeah.
is the depression, this is the protection, and this is unconditional, and this is fierce in nature. And yeah, yeah. Then Chinnamasta month will be very interesting because during that it's pure Ajna Chakra orgasm. Uh, so this represents the third eye opening, and also Subramanya will ensure that there will be no mishaps. So you can see Valli and Devasena on like he has two spouses, Valli and Devasena. Valli is like a forest girl, and Devasena is like the daughter of Indra. Like that.
And so the ones that don't fit in a chakra, how do those differ? Like for Indra, for instance, or does he also is he also associated with the chakra? Those other ones, are they just they exist somewhere
No,
else in the body, perhaps?
every deity is associated with chakra. So
And because there's the smaller chakras as well throughout the system, right?
yeah, yeah. And Dattatreya is like Dattatreya is left. That is, he's like the guru who teaches about all the knowledge. So he's the Guru Tattva, Lord Dattatreya. Lord Dattatreya is like having the properties of both all the Trimurtis, that is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. He has all the properties of the three. Yeah. So that is why in the sloka, right? Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara. All the three are there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's another thing
So
too. That Guru mantra is at the end of there's a Beatles song, and their guru was also Maharishi. But at the end, they sing the whole Guru mantra. It's "My Sweet Lord," which is popular in the U.S., but nobody. I don't think a lot of people hear that they sing the Guru mantra at
hmm,
the end.
yeah, there is that Guru mantra, right? That Guru Brahma, Guru, very powerful. Like if you chant that, a lot of wisdom will be gained. If you do it 108 times. Yeah. The Lord Dattatreya himself will get invoked inside you as you chant the
And
mantra.
it basically means like finding the guru and everything in your life, like everything you see in your day as a teacher.
Yeah, correct. Like everything that happens in your life will be a like a profound moment of learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens a lot now, and now I'm not like too surprised by it. I've been having these like big insight moments, and now I'm just not phased by it. It seems like I'm getting attracting them
Mm.
a lot.
Oh. Then what else, Brandon? Do you have anything to say to the audience before we end the podcast?
Uh no, nothing too much. Thank you for having me on though again. It was fun. I hope we can do this again in the future when hopefully I will be like a massive celebrity. And again, all the fame and everything is all just Kamala working through me, and it's all going back to protecting the Dharma.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
but yeah, it'd be cool because then maybe I can get like talk to Seth MacFarlane or someone or MIA, get her on your podcast down the road. That'd be cool. So
Oh. Yeah, next time we'll see Brandon with the Emmy awards.
yeah, MIA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be friends but next time you guys see me. So
Hmm. Okay, then. So before we end the session, we'll do a small meditative session. Everyone has to chant Om Krim Mahakalikaye Namaha inside the mind for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I will remind you to open the eyes. So we will start. 3, 2, 1, go. So everyone can open your eyes. Uh, okay. Brandon has left the call. I didn't see that. Okay. So I hope everyone has experienced Kundalini upsurge during this meditation, and we will meet for the next live session that is on next Thursday. So every week Thursday we'll be doing live sessions with one of my student, and uh, every Sunday I'll be uploading a video on the whiteboard series. So stay tuned on Thursdays and Sundays. Thursday, Sunday during the evening time. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We'll meet in the next video. Jai Mahakal.